is Misha Houston, and I'm here to do my review for The Haves and the Have Nots. Tonight's episode is entitled Haunted by a Surname. And I thought it was a good episode. I enjoyed it. There were a few surprises in this, things that I didn't expect or didn't see coming, and I really, really appreciated that. It feels like it's ramping up for the tail end of the season, and I'm very, very excited to see what's going to happen at the end. So thank you very much, and I appreciate that, and that's what I like to see. I want to feel like that I'm surprised and shocked through the episode, and I felt that I was very shocked and happily shocked as well. So thank you very, very much. I appreciate it, Tyler Perry. Thank you. The first two people we go to is Candace and Charles. Back at the Artesian hotel room, Charles expects Candace to frame her brother for Quincy's murder. Candace refuses to let her brother take the blame for this. Charles says that he was at the scene and that he should take the fall. Candace says she would rather go to the police and confess herself before she let her brother Benny take the fall for it. Charles realizes that Candace truly loves her brother, and Candace thinks that he is crazy. Charles says that he has never known that kind of love, and Candace tells him, ask him, what are you talking about? You do know that kind of love. You have two kids and a wife that you were very much in love with. Charles says that his wife was a wonderful woman and that everything that was written was the truth. Candace says that she loves her brother with every piece of her heart. And Charles says, then why did you, or rather, he asked, then why did you forge his signature? Once again, she tells Charles that she will not give up on Benny. Charles wanted to invite her to his inauguration, but Candace tells him that she is not going. Candace tells him to leave. As he leaves, he says that you just turned down the gift of a lifetime. Candace replies, no, you did. And if you ever thought that I would give up my brother, then you are wrong. Charles then leaves and locks the door behind him. I mean, yeah, I'm proud of Candace, but I'm really not surprised by that because I knew that she loved her brother very much and she wasn't going to go for what he was offering. And I don't really blame her for not going for it because everything was pretty much on his terms. And I don't think it's very smart to give a man control over your life, no matter what he's offering. Now, the next three people we go to is Wyatt, Anna, and George, the DA. Anna is at Wyatt's helping him recover. He seems to be in good spirits and doing very well. Then there is a knock on the door, and it is someone with Anna's luggage, and she informs him that she is moving in. He flirts with her, saying that there's only one shower, and then she smiles and blushes and brushes it off. Wyatt is feeling better, he admits it, but he does fear the nighttime. Anna says that she will do what she can to keep him busy. She then asks if he filled out the questionnaire. She goes to get it, and then she asks him about what his goals in life are. And then he eventually confesses that he wanted to be a firefighter. His parents thought it was stupid and wanted him to go into law or run some of the businesses. The conversation then turns to Amanda, and Anna senses that he's afraid to talk about her. She asks him if he and Amanda were close, and he says yes, they were. Wyatt says that it's painful to talk about, and Anna says that she understands, but you're in rehab and you're going to have to talk about it sooner or later. Wyatt thinks that the counselors in rehab are nothing but clowns and that he had no desire to talk to them about anything at all. Anna then asks him, "Are you calling me a clown?" And Wyatt responds saying that, "Yes, you're a clown, but you're a pretty one." Anna says maybe then she could talk about, him being a firefighter. She says that Dr. Jarvis knows a lot of people and maybe she could help him, become a firefighter and take the firefighter's exam. Wyatt says that his life has been planned out for him all his life and that he had a rough childhood. Anna then sees a camera on the table and suggests that they go out and take pictures of all of the fire stations and post them on his wall. Wyatt thinks that that's a good idea. Then Wyatt gets a phone call from George, the new DA, and he tells Wyatt that Jennifer Sallison, the former DA, has been killed and that he wants to speak with Wyatt. He tells the DA to come to his house right now. If you want to come, just come now. Wyatt tells Anna that the DA wants to talk to him. She asks him about getting some type of a lawyer, but Wyatt doesn't want one, seeing that he hasn't done anything wrong. Anna says that she is his shadow, and then they flirt with each other a little bit more, and then they fill out the questionnaire. It's good to see Wyatt doing so well, but it seems like something with his parents comes and ruins his mood every time, like clockwork. The next group we go to is Veronica, Hannah, Catherine, and Mitch. Veronica comes out and tells Hannah that she can go and see Benny. The police officer says that only the grandmother can come and talk to Benny. Hannah corrects her saying that she's not Benny's grandmother, but his mother. Veronica, feigns ignorance, and then she teases Hannah saying that, "Oh, you got arthritis, honey?" Always so sick of Veronica. She's always been a horror. Then Catherine and Mitch, after they leave, start talking with each other. She asks him about how long they have known Benny and Hannah, and Mitch says about 10 years, and that Hannah would come to his games with Benny. Catherine then asks, do they know that he is a Malone, a member of the Malone family? And Mitch says that I may be a Malone, but I'm not a member of the family. I'm just Mitch. Then Catherine says, as hard as I tried to be just Catherine, Hargrave always comes to the surface. Then Catherine starts, flirting with him and asks him, are you dating anyone? Mitch says, no. Why do you ask? She tells him that she will be single soon, and she says that I can use a man like you. Mitch asks her, all right, how much are you paying? And then Catherine says, oh, I don't pay. But after she's done with him, he'll be wanting to pay her. Mitch thinks that it is a joke and walks off. After he leaves, she says, oh, you don't know what you're missing. Catherine was on it tonight, and I enjoyed that little conversation between those two. It was nice. Veronica and Harrington, Veronica and Hannah go into the interrogation room to see Benny. Hannah asks him what's going on here, but Benny doesn't want to answer because they are being recorded. Hannah asks, did you kill Quincy? And Benny says, I told you that I didn't do it. Hannah says that it was two people who did it, one of them a man. Benny then looks to Veronica and says that he doesn't know anything. Veronica asks, are you sure that you don't know? And then he says, yes, I'm sure. Then they begin to argue, and then Hannah, shushes them and quiets them. Hannah says, look at me and tell me the truth. Did you kill Quincy Maxwell? And Benny looks at her and tells her that I didn't do it. Hannah wants to know why he's here then and with the Secret Service. Benny says he doesn't know. Benny says that they wanted his DNA and he gave it to him. Benny shouldn't have done that. That was a stupid move on Benny's part. Veronica then leaves to go talk to a supervisor and then tells them, be careful what you say in here. Benny says that he is telling the truth and Hannah knows it. She asks if Jeffrey killed him and Benny says yes. Then she starts her rant against Candace. Hannah says that Quincy is dead and that she didn't even call to find out what happened. Then Benny asks her, well, rather, Benny says that maybe she hasn't been near a television and doesn't know it. But Hannah thinks that she does know it and just doesn't care, which is absolutely not true. Benny asks Hannah, did you call and tell her? And then Hannah asks him the same question. And then Hannah says she is the one who got Benny killed. No, she is the one who got Quincy killed and Benny in jail. And she doesn't, she just doesn't think that Candace cares about any of this, which again is not true. Hannah right now is only concerned with getting Benny out of this and warns him not to trust Veronica because she's nothing but a whore. Benny asks her, what choice do we really have? And then Hannah says that Catherine offered to get Benny a lawyer. Benny says no, that sweetheart has done more than enough for him. Hannah says she can't believe he is in this situation and here at the police station. Then she begins, her tirade against Candace, her normal tirade against Candace. She can't resist putting Candace down. She just can't resist it. She then she asks, what has she done now? Who has she been blackmailing now that you're in this situation? Hannah blames the losses of the tow yard, the tow truck, and the houses on Candace and calling her a walking tsunami. Everything that she touches turns to ruin, that she is nothing but chaos and death and destruction. She only brings chaos, death, and destruction, and she wishes that she could have kept Quincy and Benny away from her. She says she would have done anything to take care of that baby. Then she prays for relief, and then Benny says that we're going to get through this somehow. Outside of the police station, Veronica is on her phone and she's talking to someone about Benny's case. She mentions the agents and she mentions that they are from Homeland Security and from the Secret Service. She's on the phone, trying to get some kind of information, trying to suss out what she can find out. And after she hangs up the phone, she walks back into the police station. Yeah, as I said before, I thought it was really, really stupid of Benny to give up the DNA because they really had no right to it. What did Lady Nika say about Benny? Shout out to Lady Nika. She said that Benny is a big, pretty mall with no one shopping in it. And I think Lady Nika is right about Benny. He's really, really stupid. The next two people we come to is Veronica and Justin. Justin comes by and ushers the desk sergeant away and then grabs Veronica. He orders her to delete the video that she made on her phone of him. She tells him, if you want to delete it, just delete it yourself. He says, you think I won't? And he also says that you have no idea what I am capable of. Veronica retorts, saying that your wife has no idea, but she will, and I will reveal it in open court. Veronica notices a nervous twitch and asks him if he is all right, which he obviously is not. He lets her go and then he asks nicely to give up the video, but she still refuses. She complains that she asked him to stay away from my son, but instead of doing what I asked of you, you pulled him into stairwells and hotel rooms and told him that you wanted him to get on top of you. Justin says, "You really gonna do this, aren't you? You really are gonna go through with this." And Veronica says, "You bet your sweet ass I will." Justin tells her that you won't like the outcome. She asks, "What are you gonna do, huh? Are you gonna hit me with strawberries and rainbows and feathers?" And she just laughs at him and goes to sit down. See, the problem here is that nobody is crazy enough to take Veronica on. What was said? You remember that movie way back in the 90s called The Demolition Man? What did Sylvester Stallone say? You have to send a maniac to catch a maniac. The next group of people we go to is Candace, Erica, Warlock, and his crew. Candace goes to see Erica and tells her about her time she spent with Charles. She says that he offered to change her life if she served up her brother for Quincy's murder. Erica then asks, "Why didn't you tell me about Quincy in the backyard?" She said that she couldn't, yeah, she said that she could have helped her, but Candace tells her that I just wanted you to stay out of it. Erica says maybe serving up Benny would be a good idea. And the next thing you know, Candace just slaps Erica, just slaps her down, onto her face. And her face is buried in the mattress. I mean, it just came out of nowhere, and it was, one of those shocking scenes that I was talking about, and I really didn't understand where that came from. I know that Candace is stressed, but I always thought that Candace thought that they were friends with each other, but apparently they are not friends at all. When she first came into the episode, came into the story, Erica and Candace were friends with each other, but apparently that was never the case. Candace orders her to remember her place, that you were my bottom bitch when she was running things, and that you didn't even bring in a lot of money. And if anyone doesn't know what a bottom bitch is, it's pretty much a prostitute. But the pimp put a gun in the prostitute's mouth and said that you are now my bottom bitch. So I mean, it was really really bad between those two, and apparently Candace was her pimp at one point, and seeing as you know Erica was nothing but her prostitute, I can see why she really hates Candace. I mean, Candace really showed her true colors in this scene when it comes to Erica. And I can't really blame Erica for hating her and wanting her out of her life for good. Erica apologizes for what she said, and then Candace apologizes to Erica, saying that she's stressed out. She doesn't know what to do with Charles. Erica asks, "What do you have to lose? Just try to get rid of him. What do you have to lose?" Candace then tries to leave, but Erica asks, "Where are you going?" Then Candace brings up the dress that Erica let her have. She said that there was a scent on it and that she recognized it but couldn't place it. Then she realized at one point that it was the cheap cologne that Warlock wears. Erica protests that she does not mess with Warlock, and Candace says, "You better not, because if you do, then I'll throw you out of a window." Candace says that she needs another dress, and Erica says, "Get one." Erica then tries to get her to stay so she'll be there, when Warlock comes. But she just goes and gets the dress, and she says, "You need to just work harder on David because you ought to have his credit cards by now." Candace takes another dress and then she leaves. Then Erica runs to the bathroom and calls Warlock. She screams at him. She screams at him, begging him to come and get Candace. She's here right now. Just come and get her because she slapped me and I despise her. Warlock says that he will come, but he can't right now because things are too hot and he's leaving to go do something else. Once he hangs up the phone, one of his crew members says that he found Mitch at his grandmother's restaurant, which was very strange to me because I thought that Mitch was at the police station. Maybe that's an error in the writing, or maybe that man is lying to Warlock. We'll have to see which one later on. Warlock says, "Let's go to the restaurant." But one of his crew members says that Mitch is a part of the mob. But then Warlock screams and curses at him, and then they all leave. I mean, that's another one that I'm tired of. Warlock. He needs to get gone right now. I'm sick of him. The next group of people we go to is Hannah, Catherine, Veronica, Mitch, and the DA, George. Hannah and Veronica come out to talk to Mitch and Catherine. Catherine asks if Veronica has info, and Veronica says that she's waiting for a phone call. Hannah wants to stay and wait for Benny, but Catherine says Benny wouldn't want that. Plus, they have arrangements to make. Mitch and Hannah decide then to go on and leave. He thanks Veronica one more time for her help, and then they both leave. Just then, George walks in, wanting to talk to Catherine. He tells her that D.A. Salison's body was found with the words "crier victim" on her, and that she was the last person to see her alive. Veronica steps up and then tells Catherine not to say another word. Veronica tells him that he just can't question her like this without a warrant. George then threatens to get a warrant, and Veronica says, just go do it. George comments that she represents everyone and a lot of people, and then George, just leaves. After he leaves, Veronica Veronica then tells Catherine to meet me at her mansion at 15 minutes, in 15 minutes. Catherine says that she doesn't trust her at all, and then they both leave. The next three people we go to is Jeffrey, Melissa, and Doris, who is Melissa's mother. Jeff is at the hospital to see Melissa, and she tells him immediately to get out of here. Jeffrey says that he was thinking about her and that he's sorry for her father dying and that the both of them are in this situation. He says he doesn't want her to hurt herself because of his mother. He says that that everything will work itself out somehow. He asks, will her father come back to life? And he says no. And then she says, then there's really nothing more to talk about. Then Doris, who is Melissa's mother, comes in and she starts talking with Melissa and Jeffrey. Doris tells her immediately to stop being this way, and then she apologizes to Jeffrey, saying, "Is she giving you a hard time?" And then Jeffrey, says no, she's not. Jeff tries to leave, but Doris says that she only came to check on her. Doris then says Melissa tried to kill herself twice before, twice when she was a teenager. Jeff says that he is sorry, but Doris says don't be. She needs to grow up. Jeffrey suggests treatment, but Doris says, who's going to pay your mother? We already owe her our lives. She's really uncaring. She's not as vicious as Veronica, but she's just as uncaring as Veronica. She's really just like her. She says that she is not talking. excuse me, she says that she's not into taking handouts, which seems more, seems better than pimping out your daughter. But she says that she's not into taking handouts. But she says that she tells Jeffrey that I know that you're into taking hand jobs, being disrespectful to him because he's gay. Then she asked him, I know that you're a gay man, right? It's no need to give us that look. We all know. She told me all about you. Jeffrey says, yes, I am gay, but anyone can get a hand job. Doris then says Veronica can make a blind man go blinder. And then she addresses Melissa saying that you have to stop this. I can't bury your father and take care of you too. Melissa says, of course you can't. And then Doris says, it's really no time to be selfish. She tells Melissa that he's a nice looking man, and when you have a baby with him, everything's gonna be okay. Doris then apologizes to Jeffrey and says, and then she tells him to tell your mother that Melissa is fine and that she'll do better. Then she leaves. And I mean, you can really tell how uncaring and how cold she is. But she's very much in her right mind. She's not as crazy as Veronica is. After she leaves, Melissa says, "Do you see? She's just like your mother." And then she asked Jeffrey, "Tell me why I want to live. Tell me why I want to live. Tell me what the reason that I should continue living. Tell me that it's going to be okay." And then Jeffrey says he's sorry, and then he leaves. I mean, it's how can you not feel bad for Melissa, stuck with Veronica and Doris and Jeffrey? It's pitiful. It's a pitiful and sad situation. The next group of people we go to is Candace, Landon, and Charles. Candace is crying in the bathroom as she hears a knock on the door. It's Charles and Landon come to see her. She doesn't want to play these games with him, but Charles tells her that this is very important. He tells her that he was slated to speak on gun violence and that her son Quincy was caught in a crossfire and shot. She thinks that he had something to do with this, but he denies involvement. Charles says that he was shot and that he was killed. Candace, is heartbroken and upset by this, and she's crying. Candace says, where was he shot? And Landon tells her at the Fountain Drop Motel. Candace cries, and as I said before, she's very, very upset and very hurt. She tells them both to leave, and then she even goes so far as to scream at them both. And they run out of the room, and she slams the door. She's hurt. She's leaning up against the dresser. She's crying and she's hurt. And she says, what did I do? She obviously blames herself, and she should to a point, but it wasn't all her fault. It just wasn't all her fault. There were so many factors, and it just, got out of control. And I know that she did not want for her son to ever be hurt. The last scene of the night, which was a shocker for me, was belonging to Catherine and Veronica. Catherine and Veronica are at the mansion, and Veronica gives Catherine matches and starts pouring gasoline. Veronica says that she's going to burn this mother down. She says that she wishes Jim were there because it would be more fun. Catherine says that I'm not going to burn down my house, and I'm not going to let you do it either. Veronica says that you are not going to drag me into this. If there is no evidence, then there is no crime. Now light the match. Catherine does what she's told. She lights up the match and she drops it. Veronica says, "Do you think Jim is in there?" And then Catherine says, "Who gives a damn?" And that's where the story ends. That scene kind of reminded me of the Addams Family with Wednesday and Pugsley Addams, that old movie that came out in the 90s. I think Pugsley said, "Are they dead?" And then Wednesday said, "Does it even matter?" I mean, it just kind of reminded me of that. So I thought that was a good nod, at least in my mind, to the Addams Family, because they very much, seemed like, Veronica seemed like Wednesday and Catherine seemed like Pugsley Adams. That's kind of how it reminded me of, and I really, really appreciated that moment. It was one of the best scenes of the night. I was shocked by it. So that's pretty much where the episode ends. And as I said before, I really enjoyed the episode. I really did. It wasn't the greatest, but it certainly was not the worst. So I very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Come back next week for the next episode. The episode will be entitled "The Enemy Called Trust." My MVP of the night was Candace. Candace was my MVP because I'm glad that she didn't sell out her brother, and I love the fact that she slapped Erica. It was very much deserved on you know on Erica's part. So because of that, Candace is my MVP. Thank you very much for watching my video. If you like my video, make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I will be back next week with the next episode. Enjoy your life as I do, and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Thank you so very much.